Hey guys, welcome to Miss Murder. My name is Markayla, and today we are going to go over the case of Lizbeth Medina. Lizbeth Medina was 16 years old, and she was born on March 28th of 2007 in Grand Island, Nebraska. She was a cheerleader at Edna High School in Jackson County, Texas. On December 5th of 2023, Elizabeth's mother, Jacqueline, returned home and found her daughter deceased in their bathtub inside the apartment at Cottonwood Apartments when Elizabeth failed to show up to a Christmas parade that she was supposed to cheer in. So when Jacqueline got to the parade and noticed her daughter's not there, of course she freaked out. She's like, where's Elizabeth? And her friends was like, she's not even here. She didn't even come to school today. So the boyfriend texted Elizabeth at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then when he didn't get a response, he texted her back at 11:13 a.m. and still no response. And then when she didn't show up to the parade, everybody's freaking out because they can't find her anywhere. So Jacqueline rushes home. And when she does, she goes through the door and notices that the door is actually unlocked. Well, a few weeks ago, there was actually somebody actually broke into their house and stole a few things. Like it was petty stuff, like a watch and like projector or whatever from Elizabeth. It wasn't anything big. Like they didn't steal anything of real value, and so that was kind of weird, but not enough to like bells. However, they did file a police report, so at least they did that. And she didn't show up. Her mom is like freaking out. She goes through the door that's not locked. Okay. And she's like yelling her name. She's calling her phone. They can't find her anywhere until Jacqueline goes to Elizabeth's bedroom. And when she approaches the bed, she looks to the right hand side, and in the bathtub lies Elizabeth. So as she's on 911, I listened to the tapes, and she's hysterical. I mean, hysterical, just like every mother would be, right? And the police come. She's still in the bedroom, of course, looking at her daughter, still on the phone with 911. And they're asking her, like, hey, can you please get up? Can you come with me? And she's like, no, no, I can't. I can't do it. And thankfully, they pick her up and they take her to the living room, and she starts going kind of like what happened. And she tells them about the robbery. It was unusual for the door to be unlocked, and because she just like walked right on in. And then the other investigator goes to look at the body, and it is ruled a homicide. Unfortunately, Elizabeth had numerous stab wounds, and this is where the investigation started. So investigators actually go upstairs to their neighbor, and he goes around, like, he asks her, like, did you hear any noises, or did you hear, anything? And thankfully she did. So she says at 10 o'clock in the morning, she actually heard the most loudest crash ever, because she was in dead sleep. Like she was in deep, deep sleep. And when it crashed, she jumped out of bed, and she actually thought it was the dog that she thought it was her dog that knocked something over. So of course she's like freaking out. She jumps out of bed. She goes to her living room, her kitchen area, and she realizes it's not her dog, right? And so she's like, I guess it's some, another person. And she's walking down the hall, and she actually hears it again. Okay. So she gets back in bed, and she says that she actually heard the water running. And when they asked how long that the water was running for, she said 15 to 20 minutes. And so then they asked if she had any cameras. Thank God she did. She actually had a camera on the back of her balcony that was actually facing the parking lot, and it actually captured a man running from Elizabeth and Jacqueline's apartment at 10:16 a.m. When the camera footage, he was running towards the parking lot and got in a silver Ford Taurus, and he drives away. So of course the police released the photo and was like, if you have any information about this person or know who he is, call us. So whenever they bring the friend and the boyfriend in to the police station, The friend says that she's actually texted um, Liz's phone, because you know how like it's like a psychological like thing that when somebody goes missing or passes away or something, you like want to text them and be like, kind of be like, like I miss you or whatever. And she actually just texted, I hugged your mom today. And somebody texted back and said, okay. And that was it. So while she's in there, they have her call the phone. Well, whenever they did, somebody picked up. Okay. So then the boyfriend comes in and he says that he also texted her and said, like, miss you. And the person texted back and said, not me. And he said that as soon as that happens, he calls her and then like they answer and then they hang up and then like it keeps going on for like a little bit or whatever. Investigators actually have him call him right then and there. Well, they pick up and then they hang up. And so, of course, investigators do an emergency warrant for AT&T to release the ping of where the location of the phone is. And when they do, which is an hour away in Schuneburg, Texas, I think that's how you say it. I think. Anyways, so when they show up to this house, in the driveway is a silver Ford Taurus. And the vehicle, when they run the plates, the vehicle is actually registered to 23-year-old Rafael Romero. And when they run his name, they see that he has a history of property theft. So you remember the break-in a few weeks earlier? Investigators are starting to connect the dots. Then they go into a home. So it's Raphael's parents and his 3 siblings. While officers are actually in the house, they call Elizabeth's phone and it rings from inside the house. Specifically from Raphael's younger brother's room. And the brother claims that he got the phone from Raphael around 4 o'clock the day that Elizabeth passed away. He says he turned it on and started using it, but he denies ever texting anybody back. So then the police go back to Raphael, and his story starts to change again. He's a brother, which is non-existent. So the SIM card was actually removed and placed in a different phone. Even the worst part. Okay, this is gonna be kind of gross, but bear with me, because if I have to read this crap, so do you. When investigators search Raphael's bedroom, they discover something horrifying. This is nasty. Dozens of women's underwear hidden in pillows, under pillows, and in the closet. And not clean underwear either. I know. So when they're actually in the closet, they find the hoodie that was also seen on the surveillance camera of when he left Lizbeth and Jacqueline's apartment. And then they found 2 journals. Also, the items reported stolen during the break-ins. And then they found Lizbeth's wallet buried deep inside the floor vent, including her phone. That is the moment that investigators begin to fear something even darker. Was Lizbeth his only victim? Or was this just one that just escalated quickly? So in the journals, and this is a little nasty too, so just bear with me. When they started translating the journal that they found in his room, it said that the date of when he broke in, which was November 13th, the month before when he broke in, and what he took, he kept a log. And then also in there, it states, I really want some new thongs with a fresh odor. Oh God, that makes, can't do that. Oh, nope. Then it says, how I'm craving some new thongs from a slender woman. I can't, y'all. I can't. And then it also says, I was about to break a window to a house after I saw a short, tasty girl exit. I don't want to take anything of value, but look first for underwear or dirty thongs, and afterwards see what I can find. Also, I have keys to the apartments. I will return soon and put a camera in there so I can see them naked. And at the stations, the investigators confront him. He denies even knowing Elizabeth. And until they mention that the witness actually saw him running. And then he says, I thought she was pretty. And then later he claims, I know this sounds crazy, but after I got mad, I don't remember. I don't know why I did it. I'm not that type of person. And when asked what should happen to him, he says he doesn't know. And then investigators say, if this was your sister, what would you want happen? And he says they would need to pay, like I need to pay. And then on December 12th of 2023, police take him back to Elizabeth's apartment. He claims he knocked on the door and asked for drugs. She let him in. And then he says that he told her that she was pretty and asked for her number. She said no. And then after that, he claims he doesn't remember. They bring him into the bathroom where Elizabeth was found. And he says he doesn't remember. To this day, we still don't know what was said in those final moments. We don't know why he chose her. We don't know why he drove an hour from his home, and we may not ever know what actually triggered that violence. That he just blacked out after becoming angry. And in September of 2025, Rafael Romero pleads guilty to the murder as well as aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. He receives 2 life sentences plus an additional 20 years. So when asking her mom about him, she said, I've never seen him. I don't know who he is. He's a complete stranger to me. Medina moved out of the state after her daughter's death, and she returned to Edna hoping to catch a glimpse of her daughter's accused killer during his arraignment. But he actually never showed up. And she said, I just wanted to see his face for the first time. I wanted him to see me and realize that mommy's here, that Liz's mommy is here, and she is going to fight until I get justice. 16 years old. It's not even a life that lived. It's the life that was interrupted. And Elizabeth didn't die of like just some like random accident. She died because she was someone else's obsession that escalated. And because somebody practiced breaking into people's houses and had some rehearsed fantasy in journals and then actually acted out them in real life. And that's what like really unsettles me the most. That wasn't like chaos, it was progression. It was just mental illness. And I hope that her friends and her mom find peace. Thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate all your love and your support and everything. Don't forget to enter in my giveaway. There's a lot of Miss Murder merch in there, which is awesome. There's coaching lessons, certificate, there's Hello Culture. We have a really awesome collab with them. It's going to be amazing. You're not going to want to miss it. And I will see you next Monday for Miss Murder Monday. Bye.